What series is that from?
That's from the hit band Proto Man. Are you almost done with that burrito?
Oh, fuck,
Jupiter,
you're right.
welcome back. Keep cheering. Let's go,
What?
Blake. Finish the burrito.
Yeah,
Finish the
come on.
burrito. Finish the
do it.
burrito. Come
You can
on.
do it.
I have wrapped it up and putting it back in the bag.
You fucking coward. Finish it.
No, I have to be a
because if you
professional. I have
if you
to
leave
be a
half a
professional.
burrito there, this is going to be all you're capable of thinking about for the next hour.
Oh, of just how much I want to just like do this in the mic.
No, you're going to be thinking about how much you want to rush the show to just get back to your burrito sin.
I have never rushed a show. I love every moment of what we do. What's Jupiter gonna think of us? We're just a couple chuckle fucks here.
Oh, don't worry. I have eaten in almost every episode of Art Ghost, and I just edit out the noises.
Hello and welcome to Spiritual Successor. It's that deathly season where the chills vibrate our spines and pumpkin is the spice of life. To celebrate, we wanted to bring on one of the spookiest people we know. Everybody, please welcome the Demon Princess of Hell, Jupiter!
Hello. Hi.
Hey,
Hi,
it's freaking Halloween, and we wanted to have a really cool guest. And Jupiter is from the Artificial Ghost Radio podcast, Enchanting Aspects, and Deck of Friendship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hi.
We had Ray on a couple weeks ago, and we're really, really happy to have you on, Jupiter.
Yeah, and you had the official fourth member of Deck of Friendship, Joe, on earlier at some point as well.
We did have the official fourth member. Now, is Joe... you mentioned that Joe is the fourth member. Would that explain why there are 6 hands on the cover of the Deck of Friendship podcast, but only 3 hosts?
None of the hands are us.
The plot thickens.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Whose hands are those? Well, that's a very threatening question to ask now that we're in spooky season, huh?
There is an answer. There is an answer. Those hands are all of different anime protagonists, mostly from like Yu-Gi-Oh! And I think Digimon as well.
The spiky bracelets, the Yu-Gi-Oh! Chant.
Yeah.
Wait, who's the
fellow,
green
isn't it?
hands? The green
monster
claw
hand is the claw hand is Feral Imp from Yu-Gi-Oh! One of the
Oh
monsters.
shit, that's so cool, actually. Oh my god, that was like one of my favorite cards when I was younger. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Is Feral Imp the rock and roll green dude with the really big mouth?
What?
Yes?
Or
Have you never seen Feral Imp?
Or am I thinking of the green dude from Street Fighter again?
No, AJ, I'm gonna send you the Yu-Gi-Oh card right now. This guy was rad. He's got like a cute face, but also just like would look like he would eat you. It's pretty wonderful.
This little fellow is not at all what I was thinking
Yeah,
of.
isn't he
was
awesome?
thinking of... I was definitely thinking of the green dude from Street Fighter with the red hair and the big
What?
mouth.
Wait, you were thinking of fucking Blanka?
Of course
allowed
I was
to
thinking
swear?
of Blanka. Yeah, you can swear.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Whoa, Blanka's extra hairy in the new Street Fighter games, huh? Was he always that hairy?
I'm sorry, I'm still
Blanka's-
laughing. I'm still laughing over Jupiter asking if they could cuss. Just so... Yes, yeah.
Blanka's always had like a full head of hair.
It's not the head of hair that really stuns me about new Blanka. It's how hairy Blanka's arms are and legs.
Oh, let me scope this new Blanka.
Yeah,
Street Fighter 5 Blanka.
It's not like the heart of hair he's got on his chest, like just the very.
No.
See, this
is-
is a really weird gif because it looks like hair is just like curtaining from his bara titties, and that I don't know how I feel about that. What in the world is happening?
This is definitely a new Blanka, and you know what? I like him.
I was about to say, I think that this follows Street Fighter V's tactic of just like giving a character more hair and then subnaming them Hot. For example, Hot Ryu. Which I wish was a joke. I'm really mad that that's like legitimate, but if you just Google Hot Ryu, it's just Ryu with a beard.
I'm sorry. Is that
That's
true?
right.
Is that
That's right. That's right.
is that what they call him?
Yeah, it's not bearded Ryu. It's not like punished Ryu. It's not like
You're right.
like
It's
tired
just
or
him
trained.
Him
It's
looking
just
like a
Hot
dad,
Ryu.
basically.
It's hot. It's Hot Ryu.
You're so right, AJ. Oh my god.
I
Dude,
think that's
admittedly-
the official name of the asset. Like, I don't think that like the internet did that. I think Capcom did that. Capcom said,
Weird thought. Is Hot Ryu just Joel from Last of Us with a headband?
"I'm gonna kick your ass, Blake. Why would you put that in my head?"
Now I love, you Google Hot Ryu, and you go to the images, and the second image comes from redbull.com, and and it says Red Bull 5G code unlocks Hot Ryu in Street Fighter 5.
Wait, what? Yeah, okay, so I clicked on that same image, Jupiter, and I scrolled down, and like the second image of that image, the title of that is from BuzzFeed, and it's called Lumbersexual. Beard Ryu will sexually awaken your fighting spirit. And holy fuck, that's a title for an article.
That's
shit.
quite a title.
That's fucking radical. What the hell?
I definitely know at least one person who might genuinely self-identify as lumbersexual.
All right.
They really just gave him a beard and said, "That's Hot Ryu."
I mean,
That's basically, yeah, 100%.
Beards.
That's what they did.
it's beards, man. Beards are cool.
Do you think that Capcom does that for all their characters? Like, do you think that when they made like Dante, Devil May Cry 5, and they gave him a beard, they were like, "Check that out. Now that's hot Dante."
That's what they titled the character model. Yes.
Now, I'm really excited. Nintendo just announced new Smash DLC, and like everyone's talking about Steve. Everyone's talking about Steve, but no one's talking about how they just put a beard on Mario and called him Hot Mario.
I'm so
Wait,
glad
what does
we
that
finally
look
got
like? Wait
Hot
a second.
Mario.
Mario with a beard, like a disheveled looking Mario. Let me see if there's images for this. Wait, no, not
There's gotta be.
Hot Ryu Mario. Mario with a beard.
You're just gonna see really. He's hot now, isn't he?
He just looks like a gnome. Actually, I see him without a beard, and it's no beard, no eyebrows, and no mustache. And I don't know how. Oh my god, he looks like he
so
does look like a
mean.
gnome. Like it's just very. Oh, there's one where he has a goatee. That's pretty good. What in the world? See, actually, I could get behind this. He just looks like those. It was the cookies with the gnomes that are like as their branding. What are they called? I can't remember for the freaking life of me.
Oh, I know the ones you're thinking about.
Yeah, this is
Keebler?
Is that
Yeah, the Keebler guys.
the Keebler? Yeah, kind of reminds me of one of those. Like here, I sent it.
Aren't they the same? Aren't they the same little dudes that are on the Snap Crackle and Pop box?
Is this? Hold on. Is this
Nope, they're
Nick
different.
Offerman's beard? Is this Nick Offerman's beard?
Okay,
On Mario?
for those that don't see the visual,
Photoshopped.
Blake just dropped a photo of Mario with the beard into our group call.
It is a very realist. Yeah, that is like a real person's beard that they just photoshopped in there. That's
Sorry,
so
hey
weird.
Jupiter, are you implying that you can recognize someone's beard?
It's-
I'm not saying. Look, some people have some pretty distinctive beards in various phases of their life.
That's true. That's true.
Have very specific looks for their beards. You see these people with beards a lot, and you're like, oh yeah, no, I know that beard. I can recognize that person by their beard.
I could definitely say that about AJ. AJ, I've looked at your beard a lot, and I'm like, if I had to pick it out of a lineup like Spirited Away style, I think I could find it.
You think you could pick out my beard from a lineup, huh?
Yeah, I think so. Could you not pick out my beard? My beard's kind of like, actually, no, you could totally pick it out. There's this weird gene or something that runs in my family. Underneath both sides of my cheeks, there's actually a swirl in my beard where the fur, I don't know, I should call it hair. It's not fur.
And if you put that swirl
it
next to his
swirls.
father's swirl and his grandfather's swirl,
And
it
it all
reveals
matches.
a map to their secret treasure.
I was thinking more along the lines of like that Junji Ito story where everybody gets obsessed
Yeah, I was
with the
also
spiral.
thinking Junji Ito.
Gotta stay on brand. It's the Halloween episode, man.
It's the
Oh, right.
Halloween episode. This is the Halloween episode about beards.
All right, those of Oh.
Top 10 spookiest beards.
Oh my god, I would read that art. Oh, who would have the
Number
spookiest
3
beard?
may surprise you. It's Santa Claus.
Is it Santa? I have never looked at his beard and went like, wow, that's like scary.
I don't know that I've ever like, I've looked at a person and thought like, oh, you might, you might do something. But
That's a criminal's beard.
But I've never looked at someone and like thought, hey, that's a threatening beard.
You know who has a
you have like a threatening stance. You have like a threatening object. But you don't
it's
have a
always what it's
threatening beard.
I don't know. I think there is one beard style that does give me like goosebumps, not because it's scary, but because they're goatees always have a weird energy.
It's the beard that goes up into 2 giant antennas off the side of their face, like the big grandpa from the Tekken series, right?
Oh,
is that the kind of threatening beard that you're thinking of?
Is that even possible? I mean, yeah, with enough pomade, you could probably do it.
I've seen some pictures of some old men who really like to style their beards, just doing some shit.
This guy, I just found a guy with a really creepy beard. He basically molded his face to look like a face hugger from Half-Life. And okay. I would love for both of you to see this, and it is very uncomfortable.
It is pretty scary.
I mean, yeah, that I would call that a threatening beard. Like,
I would argue that this threatening beard does fall under the category that I mentioned of having 2 prongs that shoot up high, like the dude from Tekken.
Yeah,
all right,
I think that works.
What would this guy's ultimate be in Tekken?
He reaches his beard over your face, and the claws clasp down. He just throws you.
See, with it being that close to his face, it does sound like he gives you a kiss, though.
Kiss on the forehead, yeah. Now, here's what I love about this first chunk of the episode is that it's relying so much on images.
A lot of visual-based humor.
All right, we should jump into some game ideas.
Which is great.
For those that are new to the podcast, we are a comedy video game design podcast that takes your lovely ideas from the internet. I am one of your hosts, Blake Rea.
I'm your other host, AJ Hart.
And I'm Jupiter.
Hell yeah.
And
Hell Princess.
This is the show. And I'm introducing it now.
Hell yeah.
It's my show now.
All right, what's our first game?
Okay, I'm taking the reins. So, this is... Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck, I don't know the format as well as I thought I might.
Just tell us who the submission is from and what the submission is.
We're just jumping in? There isn't an in-between?
No.
I mean, I guess we did spend 15 minutes talking about beards. So
yeah, we should jump in, yeah.
Okay, so my first submission is the submission that I saw and was most excited about, and it comes from... how did my own get in there? Hold on. I have a document that I pulled submissions into, and somehow my own Twitter replaced this person's. All right, hold on just a second.
No, don't worry.
Here we go.
Hey, Blake, is that a burrito?
No.
Hey, Blake, did you do exactly what I said you were going to do, and at the fucking first second you could, you tried to open up that burrito again?
No, let Jupiter talk.
You son of a bitch. You fucking...
I thought I had a moment because they were finding their submission.
God damn. I explicitly said before we were recording that you needed to finish that because it was going to be all you could think about.
So this submission comes from out of Tooch, out of TOOCH on Twitter. Fatal Frame, but Professor Oak from Professor... What the fuck?
You got this.
It happens all the time. Whenever I'm streaming and I'm reading a text-heavy game, I will just sub in words all the time. It's fine. Fatal Frame, but Professor Oak from Pokemon Snap rates your ghost photos.
Oh.
Yes, this rule.
Oh, hell yeah. Okay, so
Why don't
really
you go ahead and
tight.
start us off? What are you imagining, Jupiter?
Okay, so I haven't actually played any of the Fatal Frame games. I would like to, but I do know like the basic concept of people going and they have to fight ghosts with a cool ghost camera by taking pictures of them. I'm trying to think of like, is this in the Fatal Frame universe, or are we doing our own thing? Is this actually like a Pokemon Snap game where we're exploring around a haunted Pokemon mansion?
See,
or...
if I may, I think this is a perfect opportunity to introduce Lavender Town. Because I'm assuming the backdrop of this game would to be like, hey, I want you to photograph specifically paranormal Pokemon. And I feel like Lavender Town was full of that. So, and Lavender Town had a bunch of I don't know if any of them were true, but there's always been the internet conspiracies about if you do this specific thing, this will happen, or the music is meant to make you slowly go insane, those kind of things. I feel like Lavender Town would be the perfect backdrop for something like that.
Well, I definitely think that trying to do a spooky thing in the Pokemon universe is possible because the spooky Pokemon in Pokemon are spooky as hell.
Are you talking about the Sandcastle Pokemon that are just the souls
I'm
of
talking
children?
about the Sandcastle Pokemon that is the souls of children. I'm talking about the little stump Pokemon that is the souls of children. I'm talking about the fact that the Dream Eater Pokemon puts people to sleep so that it can comatose them and eat their dreams forever. These are official things.
Wait, what the fuck? Really? Oh my god.
Okay, now, okay. I will say, personally, I have my own theories about ghost Pokemon, and I don't actually think that the Pokedex is that reliable a source of information.
Professor Oak's may be a dumb idiot.
Hot take.
Well, the Pokedex entries are based off of the observations of children going out into the woods and being like, I bet that Pokemon can jump over a mountain.
Holy shit, I never thought about that. Yeah, a lot of the Pokédex studying comes from just 10-year-olds pointing their camera at things. Oh my fucking god. That's totally... There has to be some misinformation. Oh my goodness.
I feel like in the universe of Pokemon, the average person knows basically nothing about the majority of Pokemon.
And they're just trusting 10-year-olds?
Essentially, yeah. I mean, you go out into the wild, if you go out into the wild to, My gamer card is getting revoked right now. I can't remember the name of the Pokemon.
Describe it to me.
Yeah, what do they look like?
Just say it's Pikachu, but mean.
It's
Gengar.
The green dinosaur, Gen 2, eats mountains.
Gen 2 eats
It's
mountains.
a dragon.
Pokemon.
Gyarados.
No.
Tyranitar. I think it's Tyranitar.
Pokemon eats mountains. You mean Larvitar?
Yeah, it's Tyranitar. Yeah, it's Tyranitar. I can't.
You said it eats mountains, and I never would have guessed that it was a Tyranitar. Hey, this could be a new game. What if you just said random sentences from a Pokemon's Pokédex entry, and you guys had to know what it was? For example, lives in the desert, is purple, can fly.
Gyarados.
Lives in the desert, is purple, can fly. Oh shit. Oh, is it? No, it wouldn't be Yanmega, wouldn't? Yanmega's not purple.
No.
Oh, it's the one with the horn and the purple ears, right? It's the
You can't just say Vert.
Nope,
it's not going to be a Nidoking either. Although I love the idea of a Nidoking that can fly very much.
Is it Gligar?
The correct answer is going to be Garchomp, the Pokemon known for tunneling underground.
Wait, no, Garchomp doesn't fly.
Garchomp does fly.
No, no. Garchomp
Yeah,
does
apparently
not
those
fly.
things on the top of its head are jet engines.
Yeah, but it's not
Oh,
going to
shit.
get off the ground. It can't learn
No,
fly.
Oh yeah,
I
Garchomp's
believe-
rad. Holy shit.
I believe that in the Pokemon anime, it even flies on occasion.
Hold on, I'm looking this up now. What the fuck? What is going on? No. What the fuck?
Oh my god, Mega Garchomp looks bitchin'. Holy shit. Whoa.
So,
yeah, even
okay.
even the back of his tail is like it's supposed to be like a jet fin. That's pretty cool.
Every day I learn something, or not every day. I wish it was every day.
Every day.
I learn new stuff about Pokemon all the time, and it always blows my mind. God.
Oh, in the new series, you can see Ash and Pikachu riding on a Garchomp.
Shit. This
Yeah?
is what I'm talking about. Like the average person is not going to know that Garchomp can fly.
Okay, so maybe that's what the game is about. Is just like actually the thing that sets this Pokemon game apart from anything else is that the Pokédex entries are going to be wildly different and are going to be
Because they're
maybe-
done by adults.
maybe because they're
Adult
done by
ghost hunters.
adults. Where like danger is a little bit more more apparent, because I think when you're a kid, like death isn't really, especially like I'm assuming the kid that was going through Lavender Town was like, oh hey, this is spooky, but I might not die, or a Pokemon might not steal my soul. But I think an adult would be way more fixated on that.
Yeah, I'm imagining too, like, you know, most Pokemon games like have this like cartoony art style, but Fatal Frame is you know, this can be sort of like a Pokemon X Fatal Frame crossover in the same way that like Tokyo Mirage Sessions is like a Fire Emblem and Shin Megami Tensei crossover, in that like it's set in the Pokemon universe, but it's Fatal Frame mechanics and Fatal Frame art style.
I'm
See,
very interested in this world where we are doing a ghost hunt and we're taking all of our cool photos while knowing fully conscious of the fact that if a Trevenant does get its hands on us, that's going to be it for us. The giant tree will break all of our bones.
You know,
But then we get it back to Professor Oak and we're like, holy shit, I did it. I went into the spooky ghost place. I found 5 pictures of this Trevenant. And Professor Oak looks at it and he's like, well, you don't have the glowing eyes in this photo. It just looks like a fucking tree, you dumb idiot. Get back out there. I can't use this.
I have an idea. What if there was an idea of permadeath in this game? And stick with me for a second. Like, have both of you heard of the Hunt Showdown? Where it's like a battle royale, but you hunt monsters, and whatever you take in with you in that match is like your equipment. So what if there was like, but if you die, you lose all of that equipment permanently. What if there was a thing where you have to go out, take these pictures, and survive the adventure to bring them back to actually level up your character? So like you can take all the pictures you want in the world, but then if you don't escape, you don't get to cash in on those pictures that you took. So it's like kind of a survival game as well.
So it's like a roguelike Pokemon Snap Fatal Frame.
Yes.
I don't necessarily think a roguelike, because the Lavender Town doesn't change on you, but that would be kind of cool if like certain buildings do certain buildings do become roguelikes where the insides change, or you know, the layout.
Okay, well, let's get into the story of this then. We should get into, like, because Lavender Town, like, if we're just setting it in this one town, like, we should. In fact, a lot of great horror games are set in just, like, one small location. But what if it does change over time? What if, like...
Oh, okay.
What if, like, Professor Oak is sending you here because, like... the town has like gone silent off the grid, and you know, you're being sent in to like investigate what's going on, and as you like are going through and taking pictures, you like start to like figure out that like the ghost Pokemon are going rampant and like trying to like, I don't know, bring this like town into the ghost dimension or whatever.
I like that idea.
I got something.
Okay.
What if the reason why like an adult is needing to be called in here, and this idea that this town is like actually changing, is we're getting ghost types from other generations to show up. Like ghost Pokemon that are over in Galar are showing up in this little Kanto town. Ghost Pokemon from Hawaii, I forget what they called it. Alola?
Alola.
Alola, thank you. The Alola ghosts, that sarcophagus one, is just showing up over here now. What the heck?
Yeah. And then and then you get back to Professor Oak.
And he's some real J. He's on some real J. Jonah Jameson shit. You come in with 5 photos and your life barely, and he's just so upset with you.
Professor Oak is the only human you interact with ever in this game, and he's an asshole the whole time.
Okay. I want to build off of what you were saying, Jupiter. So I think the reason our character is being sent in to investigate is because, and just trying to like loop back in like the gameplay loop of Pokemon, is like you go gym to gym to gym to gym. For some reason, this is like, let's say this is the 3rd gym in this circuit, in this world circuit. No kids are able to get past it because they keep disappearing. So like maybe you are sent in to investigate it and figure out why all these nobody's getting past this gym and why all these disappearances are happening. So like, it gives you. Yeah, it gives you like it's like hey, the gym circuit, like nobody's going to be able to take on the lead challengers, so we're sending you in to go fix this problem for us or go investigate this problem.
So the set piece that will happen when you do get into the spooky forest and you just see a billion of those little stump Pokemon, knowing that those are all just dead kids.
Oh,
damn.
Supposedly.
Maybe the kids are alive. Where were you going, Jupiter?
It's a horror game. They're probably not. I completely forget where I was going. I remember now. So this brings up an interesting idea of like, so this is a like mechanically it's supposed to be like Fatal Frame plus Pokemon. Do you have a partner Pokemon, and how does that work?
Ooh. Oh, it would be what's the one that inhabits your Pokédex? I feel like that would be the obvious go-to. Rotom. I feel like that because they can inhabit cameras and other. Oh my God! While you're exploring Lavender Town, you can find more electronics or more tools for them to inhabit.
Yeah, and that does like puzzle elements. Like you solve puzzles by
like
sending
Metroidvania
a
style.
Yeah, sending a Rotom into different electronics. That's great.
Awesome.
That's fantastic.
Actually, I think
Rotom is a ghost type.
Rotom is a ghost.
Is it going to try to kill us?
Oh shit! So maybe their whole thing is the ghosts want to take Rotom from you. Like that's like one of the things because they're like, hey, join us. Like, why are you with the living boy? You know.
And like later on there can be like a set piece boss fight where like Rotom appears to like switch sides or whatever, but it's fine in the end. Or maybe it isn't. It's a horror game. And
the idea, a level where you lose all of your tools, like all your flashlight, your camera, just like take like an amnesia sort of vibe with it.
Well, I think you'd probably still have your camera because in Fatal Frame that's the only way to actually like hurt or like get rid of ghosts.
Well, I don't think it would be like a permanent thing. It'd just be like to give somebody, especially in a horror game, the experience of being completely helpless for a short amount of time.
I do like that. I also just like the idea of, you know, you being in a room like full of lawnmowers and suddenly and you have to fight Rotom.
Just one of them turns on and then another one turns on and then now you're just in a room full of just revving blonde. That would be fucking terrifying.
Yeah, it would be really scary.
Man, I'm really glad that Rotom is usually locked into a Pokedex these days because, that Rotom can get real spooky real fast.
He's not locked in there. He can snap at any given time, dude. I don't know if you knew, but like the new Pokemon games are actually horror games in disguise. Rotom's going to snap one day, and it's going to be bad for all of us.
Okay, I really like the submission, but we should probably take another one.
All
All
right.
right, let's move on. Blake, you
AJ,
got one?
no, I want you to give one, AJ.
All right, I got this.
All right.
This comes from Caleb Martin as Ian Fleming's James Bond 007 at Isithius. You work a cemetery that's full of zombies. You have to keep the zombie population under control without losing your job.
Interesting. So is it basically just Plants vs. Zombies?
No,
I was
think
imagining something a little bit more like whack-a-mole.
I was imagining something more akin to herding. Like
Herding.
like 3D lemmings or something.
Oh, herding with a D, not with a T. Okay, I
Yeah.
gotcha.
Like
So you're trying to get them from point A to point B, basically.
well, like every night the zombies rise from their graves, and in the morning, you know, the moonlight goes away, and then they die again. You have to put them back. But while they're here at night, and you know, you need to keep the corpses fresh because people want to like mourn. So every night you have to run around and, you know, lock all the gates and you know, bar off exits and, you know, get rid of ways that they can get up on the roof and go over the fence, and you know,
Is this kind of like God, what's it called? Is it 7 Days to Die, where it's like, you know, a zombie horde is coming and you have X amount of time to prepare? So would it be that
you know that the zombie horde is in your area. I was thinking, I never played it, but I think this is like what Ape Escape feels like.
Oh
Ape
yeah,
Escape?
it's sort of Ape Escape-ish, yeah.
I have never played Ape Escape. What is it about?
Ape Escape is a game where you're a little boy and some monkeys are loose and you have to get them.
Oh, that's
So you
cute
might
as
run down
hell.
and like find the monkey, and you're like, I know where the monkey is, but I got to run up and catch that monkey.
Yeah.
Or maybe you see a monkey and you're like, I'm gonna grab that monkey with my big net, and then the monkey starts running, and you're like, fuck.
Yeah, and the health is cookies.
The health is
Oh, that's
cookies.
adorable.
And so
okay.
I imagine this zombie herding game would be more like, you know, you wake up because you work the graveyard shift. Ba-dum, pss.
But shit.
And like you wake up at nighttime and you're like, all right, there's probably like 8 zombies running around here, and you got to find the zombies and you got to herd them back into their hole in the ground.
Yeah, it's sort of like a reverse tower defense.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
basically, at each level, you wake up at the beginning of the night, and you have, is it like a time-based thing? Like you have X amount of time to get these things herd up before morning, which is like
Yeah.
each level is like
Yeah.
10, let's say 10 minutes. So is there just more complicated puzzles to get them, or is it just kind of a walking simulator? I'm still trying to nail it down.
I think you can, like, you know, as you can like walk around the world, and you know, it's sort of like physicsy, I think, and you can get like bonuses for like dunking zombies back into their correct graves. And
Might I
Yeah.
suggest, what if this is like an ARG? Like, it's something you hold up
Oh.
your phone and you actually have to walk around either your house or your neighborhood and physically
Or your
find where
local
the zombies-
graveyard. Let's
or
get
the-
these teens out there in the spaces.
so this is like a Pokemon Go. This is like a Digimon Go, which I think was also
Yeah,
a
a
thing.
Pokemon Go, a Digimon Go, a Witcher Go.
A Witcher Go, a Mario Go. You have to find him. He's somewhere.
But I think that this is locked only at graveyards. I think that we go through the effort, and we've created independent levels for every graveyard that we've gotten the permission to, or every graveyard that we can find on Google Maps. We don't
So-
need their permission.
I think we
Yeah,
get permits, man.
The permission thing would be every single one says no.
And then we
if
do it
enough
anyway.
if
Yeah.
enough people play the game, it's not like they could do anything about it. Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah, Johnson and Johnson's graveyard owns the physical space. Johnson and Johnson's graveyard does not own the digital landscape,
You know
the
what?
digital geography.
That's a good point. We can get him with that.
So we buy their digital geography, and by buy I mean we just take it because they don't have a claim there, and then we start placing zombies there.
I'm so upset with the idea of buying digital land.
You have to pay a subscription fee for your digital land. You have to pay rent.
This is my this is my VR land.
This is my VR
Oh
land.
wait, Jupiter, it's just Second Life. You pay for a lot.
I mean, yeah.
But I'm not paying. We're not paying for like the space in a digital world. We're paying for the digital space over the real world.
You're paying for the AR space, basically.
Yeah.
We're paying for the AR space.
Yeah.
Oh,
Pokemon
God.
don't have a permit to be in this zone. This is the Digimon line.
Okay.
Oh God, I hate
So,
that.
is
I
there
hate
anything
that
else you
so
wanna add?
much.
Well, I really just like this idea of this game that we've created that like gives people a little tour of graveyards, and they have to run around the graveyard and find the zombies and
So
stand
are-
next to the zombie
so,
and hold its hand
okay.
while they take it back to the correct graveyard or
Okay.
gravestone.
Okay, correct, good, and nice, and I like it, and I approve. But also, does the app have a register of everyone who is in the graveyard so that they can name the zombies by who's in the actual graveyard?
No, I think that that will come from the fun of somebody spending 3 hours getting a zombie from the outskirts of the graveyard to the correct tombstone, and then they look at it and they're like, "Huh, that was Blake Rhea." I'm sorry for your death, by the way, Blake.
Oh, how did I die? He ate a
You've
burrito
been
too
dead
fast.
the whole time. Ooh.
Oh, I'm the voice in the machine, man.
Yeah.
Are there like unlocks you can get? Like, because I'm thinking if this is a herding simulator,
Yeah,
I'm assuming you would get bait, right? Like
Yeah,
you
I
get
think
like
so.
little jars of brains or something to share.
I think there could be like a Death Stranding style building component, because if the zombies are only come out when the moon, if they're only zombies when the moon is out, then the community could buy little digital roofs over the graves so that the moonlight can't get them.
Oh,
And then
so
people could, yeah.
it's like a community effort. So like everybody in the area, like everybody in the local area of the cemetery has to contribute, or they're gonna
Yeah.
have a zombie problem. Oh, interesting.
And I know what you two are both thinking. How do we make money on this? Well,
We sell
A
AR
graveyard.
land. We've talked about it.
a graveyard can buy out the digital land that we've stolen. So we steal the digital land, we put it up there. Teenagers are going crazy for this game, and so this
no.
graveyard, hey Blake, what's the name of the fancy Hollywood graveyard that everybody tries to film at illegally?
Hollywood Forever.
So Hollywood Forever's like, we cannot get rid of these teens. What the hell? How do we get these teens to stop showing up in the dead of night? And we say, hey, Hollywood Forever, you're on some primo digital real estate. But we're willing to sell it to you. We own it.
Now this is fun because the graveyard was already on stolen land, so it's sort of an Ouroboros of stolen land.
Well, what I'm thinking would be kind of, I want to try this. So, if we're trying to motivate people to keep as few zombies out on the land as possible, what if the people in the area who allow the zombies to get out of hand, it actually devalues the real world land? So it's like,
Oh,
because
no.
there is a digital zombie problem, and for some reason that affects the real world value of the land.
It's because if there's more digital zombie problems, then there's more delinquent teens in the dead of night running around.
Trying to
And if
shoot
there's-
zombies, yeah.
Trying to get rid of zombies. And if there's anything that real estate managers despise, it's rambunctious teenagers.
Oh, I'm sorry. The fucking property brothers going from property to property. Well, see, you're actually, you're getting a good deal on this house. It does have 7 zombies on it. I don't.
Really? They'd be like, where are the zombies? Just look through your phone. You'll find them.
I don't think that we can move in a place with 7 zombies. I think 3 is our limit.
You know, if you had a zombie problem, like if it was a digital zombie problem too, would it infect other digital devices? So like say I'm in a living room and I'm playing VR, and for some reason a zombie just shows up in my VR headset, and it's like, now I have to go install this other game to get rid of this zombie, or I'm watching TV, and then suddenly a zombie gets on the screen and is blocking my view of whatever TV show I'm watching. Now I gotta go buy this other game to fucking deal with it.
Yeah, any game that we can make a deal with, I definitely think that happens. You know, I think that once we get the digital real estate over Facebook offices and we make Facebook offices just a real digital zombie hellscape because teenagers will be there all the time.
Oculus Quest 2 is owned by Facebook.
We say, hey, Facebook, we can get rid of all these rambunctious teenagers, but only if you put zombies on every single Oculus device.
Fuck, I hate that, because I could be scrolling Facebook and then suddenly a zombie's on my screen and I can't do anything about it. It becomes a real world problem.
Thank you, rambunctious teenagers, for giving us the power.
All right.
Goodness.
Do you two what? All right, I think I have a game for it. Well, this is kind of a weird combination of two. So this one comes to us from Killer Shrewd Davenport at the _ Davenporter. Ghost Train Simulator. But this we got another submission from Alley Cat at Millennium Hoo Ha called Ghost Truck. And that got me thinking, what if there is a world that exists like Cars, where every sort of transportation is a personality? What if it's that, but with ghosts? Could you do, hey, what if we did derby racing? That's like the most dangerous sport in the world, but it's not truly dangerous because all the pilots are ghosts. So they just
want to put ghosts
it.
in the Cars universe.
I'm trying to think of like what could happen, what sports would happen to Cars and other like
So are you thinking like Rocket League, but if you crash, you enter the ghost game?
The ghost game? So like you're saying, if you get demolished, it becomes a different game.
So like there's the alive game happening where all the alive people are, and they're playing Rocket League, and every time somebody crashes, they die, but they are in their ghost car now.
I love games that are 2 games in 1.
Or are you proposing something akin to actual real-world monster truck racing with a narrative that they already have, because the Gravedigger is a ghost car, and you would know this if you followed Grave Monster Truck.
I haven't followed Grave.
I got it. Are you ready for it? I got it.
Yes.
Visual novel set in a junkyard where all of the ghosts and trains and wreckages are ghosts who have stories and characters and lives in this junkyard.
Okay, you're a fucking genius. What do you play the role?
What is it like to be the smartest person on Earth, Jupiter?
Okay, who's your main character in that story?
I wonder if it's like,
are you a ghost wandering?
What if you're the human, like, alive junkyard keeper trying to like take care of the property, and
it's a kid working a summer job, and like this is like their summer working at the junkyard.
Yeah.
That'd be cute.
Aw.
Unless we wanted to make it like a haunting thing where it's a visual novel that goes horribly awry.
No, I think this one's just like nice and talking about like all of the characters are just like reminiscing about when they were like functional.
Yeah, the characters are like the trains, right? So the train is like, dog, I was so fast. You would not believe how fast I carried all of these cool things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I was a passenger train, and the food coming off of the server train. What's it?
It's the. I think it's the food.
I think they're called
carts.
Yeah,
compartment.
I think they're just called cars because
car.
Yeah.
Thank you. Oh
yeah,
my
like
God.
food car, I believe.
say every single C word until I arrive at the correct one. The I could smell the food coming from the dining car, and it was wonderful, and the people were so happy, and all that.
Fuck, when's the last time one of y'all traveled by train?
Oh, I mean, like
Years ago.
I haven't been like on like a proper like train. Maybe ever.
Really?
Yeah, around here we do have like a train public transport system that is more like a metro sort of thing. But I have never been like on a train with like cars that you can like travel between and like individual compartments and whatever.
When I was a wee lad, me and my grandparent, me and my nana went on a train ride. It was me and my sister and my nana when I was like a little kid, from Portland to the California area, like the Southern California area. But I think that was the only time I ever traveled by train.
Really? Traveling by train is really nice because I think it's like one of the best ways to. I love traveling by train. I take the train a lot from Los Angeles to Anaheim for like VidCon, which is like it's a YouTube convention, and it's, I don't know, it's just like I think it's the coolest way to get a bunch of scenery in one go, but also like have it be very calm, because inside of the train it's really quiet, and there's just like. It doesn't really happen here out in like the West Coast, but I know as more inland you go, there's a lot of festivals about trains that just like are fascinating to me. Like there's one in Boulder City, Nevada. It's the city that was built to build the Boulder Dam, and they do this thing every year called the Boulder City Christmas Train, where they just like everybody gets on an old locomotive from like the 1900s, and they just like kids go up and down the carts and they pass out candy and cake and hot chocolate, and Santa's there, and just like shit like that is like, oh, that's like magical. It's beautiful. It's not Halloween themed, but it's very cute and fun.
Yeah, this is feeling less, if I'm honest, less like a spooky game and more like a charming, reminiscing sort of sad game.
Yeah, we can use ghosts to actually like analyze different forms of like, I guess, dead entertainment, or like entertainment that like isn't nearly in the zeitgeist anymore, right? Like we could do like a train that's like, yeah, I'm back from when people did train adventures regularly. Or like
I have a
monster
for
truck
you.
that's maybe from like the golden days of monster truck rallies, and it's just like this heartfelt explanation as to like why that culture became so big in the early 2000s.
I have a question for you. So the moment you start up a conversation with one of these rusted objects, do you get teleported? Like, does the memory become physical in front of you? Like, say it's like when you talk to the monster truck, are you teleported to an audience like member seat during like and watching the monster truck in its heyday do its thing?
No,
or are you suddenly?
I was
go ahead.
sort of imagining like at night in the graveyard, the ghosts of these vehicles like come out of their wreckage. And, like, you can see what they used to look like.
Oh, that'd be cool.
So are the ghosts hot anime characters, or are they still cars?
I was imagining them as full vehicles. I was imagining them as
just
full
making
vehicles. Like, not even Cars vehicles. Like, not even Thomas the Tank Engine. Just, like, regular vehicles.
Okay, cool. Just checking.
So when I hear that, I think the overall arc of the game then, is it helping these rusted, things of their time come to peace with their existence? So is it like, are you fixing them up? Are you trying to get them all in one area to where they can kind of, because like one thing I think about when I enter
final derby.
Well, more so, you could do that, but also I'm wondering, do these ghosts actually talk to one another? Is like part of the thing assembling all of these pieces of like cars or whatever, trying to get them close enough to where they can actually have company in the afterlife? Is that?
Yeah, I think it's about making friends. I think the story is about making friends, and I think this is just like a very sweet, nice thing. If I'm honest.
Hey, that's fine. Halloween's also about sweet vibes. I got it.
Yeah.
Very much so.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
I can't wait to eat a bunch of sweet candy.
Pumpkin pie, dude.
I legitimately have 3 bags of bulk candy like right next to me.
Fuck.
Hell yeah, you are living.
What's your favorite candy, Jupiter?
I like sour candy a lot, so probably like
Interesting.
probably like a lemon head or like a sour gummy worm.
Hell yeah. AJ, what about you?
I don't know, man.
Come on.
That's like asking like someone what's their favorite color. Like, man, I don't know. I like them all.
My favorite color is red.
Red's a great color.
Red is a very good color. I like chocolatey things with nuts, like a Babe Ruth rules hardcore.
Ooh, nice. I gotta
What
say,
about
I like mint chocolate. Like that's kind of my favorite. So like, either mint or something creamy. So like Cadbury cream egg or the mint Kit Kats are like my 2 go-tos.
I think it's time to pick a nug.
Do we? I mean, we could go through some more games. It is a guest episode. We could
Yeah,
definitely go on for a little bit longer. Or do you want to jet?
see. I'm good to go. I'm good to keep going.
Yeah, I got one more we can do for a little bonus. A
right.
little quickie.
All right, Jupiter, what game you got?
Let me see. I have to pick here. Okay. So I'll go with this one. This is just like, we've had a lot of like spooky, goofy fun here. Let's try like a straight up horror.
Heck yeah!
All right.
Coming from shout out to my stream chat, Indigo Ripley, who has made some fantastic art and memes of my streams. At Indigo Ripley says, a collaborative mystery game where you and a few friends get snowed in and have to take refuge in a seemingly empty cabin. And eventually revealing a disturbing legacy of people getting stuck in the cabin and dying. I paraphrased a little bit. So straight up horror, snowed in a cabin. Mm-hmm. This is our starting point. I know this is a comedy show, but I want to stretch the limits. I want to see your spooky veins.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I love spooky.
We're locked in a cabin.
So the first thing I think I would want to avoid is, I think the easy answer to this would you just do Among Us. It's just like it's a group thing. One of you is a traitor and you're trying to kill everybody, but that's already been done. You could just play Among Us. So,
Yeah.
But what if nobody has to kill anybody? What if it's a cabin and there's one knife in there? Mm-hmm. And you all got hunger bars.
Like a
yeah.
Donner Party sort of thing.
Yeah, AJ, you're thinking the good shit, dude. So it's like
shit.
might I suggest that just so there's a little bit more exploration in this, we do something like The Shining, and so instead of a log cabin, it's more of a empty hotel. So there's places to hide, there's places to go to, and you don't and like that singular knife, let's say, AJ, doesn't always spawn in the same place. So maybe there's 2 ways to win the game. One is you could just fucking outright kill everybody.
You could just murder everybody.
You gotta the goal for everybody is to survive. But is there a way to survive as a group too?
Right, yeah, because like this is the thing, right? Is the suggestion specifically says it's a collaborative mystery game, and the part that I paraphrased over because I wanted to see if we could like explore the space around it, but I will go ahead and say it. Indigo Ripley adds saying. All exposition is delivered by stacks of encoded journals that reveal the disturbing legacy of people getting stuck in the cabin and dying. And the way that I'm sort of thinking about this is like, okay, so let's say let's say if for the sake of argument, it is like a cabin, but like there's other rooms. There's maybe like a basement as well.
Okay.
And you are snowed in, but let's say there's like a day timer like 5 days until you get rescued or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But your hunger meter is going down. You have that knife. If there's not enough resources for, 5 people or whoever is in the cabin.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you could kill each other to eat each other to survive.
But then you don't get to solve the story.
Right. Or you could work through the complicated puzzle, and that might lead to, actual, monsters and horror danger as you uncover more of this mystery of trying to stop whatever, horrific presence is going on in this house and, I don't know, doing or undoing a ritual, finding books, secret doors, encountering monsters and traps that might put you in more danger. If somebody dies, you can still eat them,
What if this, because this, I think one thing that I find fascinating about survival horror things, that's what survival and eating people you cared about is what birthed the Wendigo story. It's like the act of cannibalism drove you mad and you became the Wendigo. So say the game starts, you find out you are stuck in this location. You all have a hunger meter and 2 people are in the basement, or somebody goes and kills somebody, but nobody knows who actually killed them. And the person that killed the other ate some of them. They are slowly becoming the Wendigo. So maybe it becomes a
Did we just make
time
Until
Dawn
Dawn again?
Yeah, it's sort of like
that is sort of a Till Dawn, yeah.
Yeah, and I would personally avoid using Wendigo imagery. That's a very specific cultural thing.
That's very true. That's very true.
But yeah, I like the idea of as you're solving this mystery, and as I like the idea of this cabin, it has you start out and it has I don't know, main room, kitchen, 2 bedrooms and a basement and a bathroom. But as you uncover the mystery, you can start to find more secret rooms, and the cabin just sort of keeps going.
What sort of things would be in those rooms? I guess my thought is how do we incentivize players to continue doing this story instead of just murdering each other with the cool knife?
That's a fair point.
Well,
that's
Because
an
even if
interesting
they
idea.
try to even if they spend their time trying to solve all these riddles and making this cabin bigger, they're still going to be getting hungry. Now, is there maybe the possibility of these rooms are maybe randomly generated, and if the players are able to solve a puzzle, they'll get another room, and maybe that room will have food in it, so that they can chow down a little bit.
Yeah.
You know what that reminds me of, AJ? House on the Hill, where just each room everything is randomly generated, and you're trying to solve. So each time you start up the game, the mystery has to change. So I feel
that's my thing. Is this the kind of game that we can do a lot of replays on?
It's exactly it's like a roguelike Hades. It's basically you're not going to be successful on your first run. The story evolves with every single run that you do,
and
so that makes you have to play it again and again and again in this group.
And every time that you play it again, you get you will uncover notes from the previous party who died.
And that builds off of what you were saying, Jupiter, where it's that this house has a habit of being snowed in every season. So for some reason, and then that's every time we start up a new game, it's a bunch of new characters with their own models, their own new names or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, I imagine the character models would be they would have the open world game style NPC character generation. Of just get these random face bits together. Let's go.
But every time you hit those notes, I think that they're dated. And so the way that we can keep this story moving and evolving past the players is every time you find a note, maybe the first time you do the run, the year is dated 2000. Every time you do a run after that, it's 2001,
I see.
2002, 2003. So as you're playing the game, maybe you and your friends are like, hey guys, somebody from the 4th run said that they left a bunch of goodies in the cupboards of the dining room. And then the other people would be like, oh, okay, cool. Thanks. Good to know that that person did that at that time.
I have a question for you that might be that would be kind of cool is, say this game starts in 1980 and it's going to take you, say, roughly 30 runs to get through this. So it would become 2010 by the end of that. Every time you do a run, maybe the technology that you have with you changes. So like in 1980, you don't have cell phones, but once you get towards the year 2000, now you have cell phones, so that can help you communicate during the course of that run better.
It's
just
a horror story that evolves and like gets
with
like
the times.
More solvable with the times because you've done more runs, you've unlocked newer things. I have the ability to have a cool taser now.
Yeah, and previous generations, sort of like Rogue Legacy style, can like go and like open up shortcuts in the cabin that future generations can use. And
like one run they axe down a door that will be accessible like 3 years from now or something like that.
Like even though like say like there are these floors, like the cabin like has the starting place, the like entryway, and then there's something like deeper than is humanly possible to build is like the bottom, and there are these like checkpoint floors, but in between it's randomly generated. But if you get to like the checkpoint floor, you can like open up a shortcut and skip a whole section of the cabin, which
I love. There's something so creepy to me about like the start of every run begins in the basement, let's say, and it's just the idea of going deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper with every run. But just like the idea of a hole that has no bottom just is very terrifying, but also like that just satiates this whole like lizard brain thing of like, I gotta find out what's at the bottom. I gotta find like, and I feel like this game really needs that, just like there has to be that motivation to go through this game 30 times with your friends.
And what I love so much is we still have the knife and hunger meter. So no matter how many times you run through this, you're going to hit that point where you say, all right, we ain't getting any further. I'm going to die of hunger or I'm going to stab you. So what is the... We need straws, man. Like, this a little bit kind of reminds me of Castle Crashers, which at the end of every Castle Crashers level, when you got to save a princess, you would just kill each other and see who got to give the kiss.
Yeah.
What does the murderer get, right? Like, we not only do we want to incentivize that, like, we want to kill our friends so that we can eat their bodies and live a little bit longer, but what does that get me? If I take the knife and I kill you both and I'm the last one alive, what do I get out of that?
I don't know.
I think it's like interesting of like it would be collaborative by way of competition, in that you're like the goal is to just get as far as you can and find the bottom, and like that is the psychological drive that like that, and that idea of like you would kill somebody and eat them just to be able to push a little bit farther. And
that weird like cosmic horror sort of thing of like what is the unknown is like that, like finding the answer will drive somebody insane.
But it's like
knowing the answer alone isn't going to make me want to stab you two.
But like,
we'll find the answer together. I need a reason to stab you every 20 minutes.
Well, because your hunger meter will go down. I don't think that food, like we were saying earlier, that food would come up in some of these rooms. Maybe it does sometimes, rarely, if you really search for it, but like you can't share it. You can't even trade it into somebody else's inventory.
Oh, so some people backstab other people of like, hey, who ate the... You'll have those scenes of like, hey, who ate the 2 extra things of food in here?
But my question is like, what keeps the 3 of us from being like, okay, well, I know you 2 are fine, but I'm low on hunger, so I think I'm just going to go ahead and let myself die and consider this a wash for this run.
I think that's fine. I think that's a fine impulse to explore. This is a horror game. It's not like you're supposed to be exploring that, like, that
that secret desire to stab your friends.
That
Could you do a thing
that psychological space, you know?
Could you do a thing like there was a game that I played I only did one run of it, sadly, but I've always wanted to play more of it. It's called Hidden Agenda. At the beginning of every game, because it's a collaborative, like timed event sort of, it's like if Until Dawn was a group game, and every person who was playing it was given a hidden agenda, some sort of goal that they can't share with anybody else at the table. So what if you do something, you introduce an element like that? It's like, hey, during this run, you need to do this, or you need to get this.
If I get a secret agenda at the very beginning of the thing, and maybe my secret agenda is like, don't die first.
Okay.
From there, like it's
Something
a little
to
thing, right?
instigate conflict is really what it is.
Here's my thing is that I think that one of the advantages of horror games is that they can be like inaccessible and like not have a progression system and just be like weird and a psychological event you have with your friends.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I don't know that it needs a progression system for me.
What if we
That's
did
fair.
something like this then?
I
So
think
there isn't
maybe
a
it isn't-
progression system here. If you don't mind, AJ,
Yeah.
I think I have a good idea with this. So it isn't a progression system, but two things will happen. One, as you go further, maybe you discover different biomes. So like that's something that drives people. So like each level of this hole that goes nowhere becomes different. But we could also do things where there will be cutscenes where the group gets separated. So maybe there will be like two separate like situations happening at the same time, or maybe everybody gets separated. So could you do something like that to where now it becomes an experience rather than like always a group discussion?
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I really like that, and also I really like the idea of like this is like. I do want to get back to the second half, but I am stuck on the first half of this. As you go on, it's just like this cabin is clearly still being made of human materials, but it's looking more and more like a natural cave structure.
Yeah.
Like it's becoming petrified wood, basically.
Yeah, and like there are like stone bricks shaped into like cave mounds and stalactites and all sorts of shit. And it's just getting like deeper and deeper and weirder, and how is this structure even possible? Like I like having that like visual, like what the fuck is down there? What is going on? Like I think that is really like a big psychological goal, and I also do like the idea of people getting separated and having to do other stuff. I think that's great.
I'm trying to think of like because you just mentioned like building materials, and that got like my brain cogs going. What if, I don't know how it would happen, but maybe the whatever entity is at the bottom of this hole is luring people in there because the people themselves are the building materials of this weird like monstrosity.
Hell yeah.
So like that's the reason it exists every year, or people come to it every year, because it's like the whole like say this entity was born 1,000 years ago, and when it was born it was at the very top, but the more people that come to it, the deeper the hole gets, because they're the ones making the hole deeper.
So the ending of the game, when you and your friends finally get to the bottom, you uncover this unknowable, impossible entity, and there's no fight, there's no nothing, there's just a cutscene of like them walking into the kiln or whatever and becoming the building ingredients.
Yeah.
And then like
this journey has driven them mad and willing to sacrifice themselves.
Right, something to that end, right? Of just like, yeah, and
I like that.
And then the game closes and you can't open it again.
We did it. We solved the riddle.
Holy shit! You know, this would make like a really cool one-off for like a tabletop RPG too.
Ooh, yeah.
Just like figuring that out together. Oh man, this is really cool. This is really fucking cool, Jupiter.
Yeah,
yeah.
I like this one.
Yeah,
Okay.
same.
All right,
All right.
now we're at an hour and 10 minutes.
Now we're in Nug
Now
territory.
we need to choose a nug.
Now,
Does Nug
okay.
territory mean I can eat my burrito?
No, it does not
No.
mean you can eat your burrito, you absolute fucking madman. We need to decide which one of these we're gonna ship.
Now, here's the problem for me, is that I really like the cabin game. I think it's really good, but I have been thinking about the Fatal Frame Pokemon Snap since we started.
Same. I mean, the way we do it is guest gets final say. So we will go with whatever game you want to go with, Jupiter.
Oh, fuck. No. Come on.
No.
Okay,
No,
okay.
we'll all
Like
vote.
what? I mean, we can go
I
around
vote
the
the
table.
Pokemon one also,
Okay.
You think
for
so?
what it's worth.
Okay.
My main reason is because, you know, when we come to moments like this where we've created something so fucking radical and we want it to exist, and we've created a slight abomination, we must turn back to our mission statement. A cool game that should not be made.
A game that makes you eat your friends is a cool game that should not be made.
That is a cool game that should not be made. Here's my thing, is that I do want the Pokemon Fatal Frame game to be real, and I want to play it. That's sort of where I'm at.
Okay, here's a better question. Which one do we think has a little bit more legs for us to develop a little bit more? The Pokemon Fatal Frame game or our 4-player Dungeoneering game?
It's the Pokemon game.
It's the
we
Pokemon
didn't really go
game.
Yeah.
I mean, I just want to talk about Pokemon more, I guess. I'm just thinking of like what Pokemon encounters could there be, right? Because this is a linear single-player game with straightforward objectives, or like there's like puzzles and stuff, but like
I think the narrative
it works
isn't found in what's it called? You have to piece it together. Like I
Right,
feel
right.
like the joy of Lavender Town is going where you want when you want,
when
and then
I
like,
say
hey, you found.
Sorry,
Yeah.
sorry. Finish your sentence.
Oh no, go ahead. No. That was basically it. No, please go ahead.
Just like, yeah, when I say straightforward objectives, I don't mean that like the narrative is straightforward or that you're just handed it. I just more just mean like you're in a house, you want to get out of the house is more like my mindset of what a straightforward objective is in a horror game.
Okay.
Well, what I
Oh,
think
okay.
we have the luxury to do with a game like this is we can take a hat from one of my favorite Ghost adventures, Mario, not Mario's, Mario, Luigi Mario's Mansion. So Luigi Mario's Mansion had this interesting system where like you had to go through this mansion, and every kind of wing or major section of the home was kind of influenced by one major ghost.
Right, yeah.
And
Oh,
I could
fuck.
be wrong, but I believe that Fatal Frame had a little bit of a similar system. There were major ghosts that kind of influenced a whole section of the game.
Right. Yeah, so like...
And so what I'm imagining is we could break our town into sections like this. There could be a building that is maybe majorly influenced by a Gengar, and so there's going to be little Hauntars and Ghastly through the whole thing.
So, okay.
There's going to be...
So
You go.
the progression of this game, like the levels of like, it's a 3D game. Like, I think it's probably like fixed camera is mostly what I'm thinking. I don't know.
Yeah,
I think
you're thinking fixed cameras like the Fatal Frame thing, right?
Yeah,
Where you
like-
have to wrestle with where the camera was placed in every room.
Right, I think in Fatal Frame you can maybe move the camera around. At the very least, when you're in first person, you can see, like you can move it around.
I thought it was third person in the later games. If I
I
remember
think it is
correctly.
third person in the later games. I think maybe the first couple were fixed camera. I'm not sure, but anyway, like close camera, but you can look around. It's a full 3D environment. So you start off and you're in the forest going towards the Lavender Town. And from wherever you are in the town at all times, you can see the tower. The tower is always looming.
Yes.
So is and then I'm thinking like the story then becomes: are you going to each of these locations to get something that will eventually give you access to the tower?
Right, the
like
tower is
you're finding
the
like
last
the
level.
6 key,
The tower
like the
is the
6
last
keys
level
or
for
whatever.
sure. I think like either like you're getting like literal items, or like you need to defeat the major ghosts to like get rid of their ghost energy that will let you, be able to
you
even
catch
touch
the major
door.
ghosts?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you catch them in Pokeballs. That's correct. You're absolutely accurate. Thank you.
You catch the major ghosts, and they will help you get further along in the tower.
Oh, shit. Are you saying, like, the final boss battle would be an actual Pokemon battle with all of the ghosts you catched?
Oh, shit. Oh, my God.
There you go.
That'd be kind of fun. But
That would be really cool.
Yeah, so, like, the first area is, like, the forest path, and then you get into, like, I don't know, town central. You got to go to a spooky library at some point. You got to go to the graveyard.
A haunted Pokestop would also be pretty fucking weird.
Oh, yeah. A fucking Pokemart. Yeah, or Pokecenter.
The one where you heal, like the one where you heal the Pokemon.
Yeah.
Just like an idea of like, because it brings that like haunted hospital vibe for me.
Yeah, and then they're like,
I might need to make should I pull up a list of ghost type Pokemon so that we can kind of help plan out some of this town?
100%.
Oh, we're gonna. This is gonna be a
let's-
long episode now, actually, because I'm very invested in building out a town.
Let's say, like going off of the idea that the final battle is a Pokemon battle, and how many Pokemon can you carry on you at one time? It's six, right?
Six, yeah.
So let's say there are 6 areas in this game, because each area will give us a Pokemon that we'll have for the tower.
Yeah.
Is that
okay?
That roughly that way kind of gives us a rough like spine of how many areas we need to come up with.
So I will say maybe it's not like a straightforward Pokemon battle, but you do like it is set up that way. But like we're still using some of like the gameplay stuff of like, oh, you have to send this Pokemon to do this to the final boss, which will give it like an exposed weak point that you can flash with the camera or whatever. Something where you're still doing something.
Actually, I have an idea. So maybe it's not a Pokemon battle, because I'm trying to think of like, because now that we were just talking about that, I'm like, wait, this is supposed to be like a pictures game, and we got to come back to Professor Oak so he can cuss at us. Maybe what Professor Oak does is he analyzes the Pokemon that you captured and takes a power of theirs and gives it to your Rotom. So that's how you get upgrades.
That's
so
great.
you not only come back to Professor Oak for the pictures, you come back to him for your upgrades.
That's
Yeah, he gives you a little TM for the Rotom. That rules.
Hey, can the final boss be Gigantamax Gengar?
I was about to say Gigantamax Gengar definitely comes in pretty high for like a good final boss. I was also trying to think of other like ghost type legendaries, and the only one that I really got is Giratina.
Yeah, but Giratina is too chill to be here, I think. He's just like he's like kind of spooky, but he's mostly just like a chill dragon in his alternate universe. Actually,
there's also Marshadow.
Oh, no, actually, no, I'm sorry. So, in, like, these, like, PS2-ass horror games, like, somebody's always trying to bring a god from another dimension, or trying to, like, birth a new god. What if the ghost Pokemon are trying to merge the real world and the ghost dimension, and to do that, they have to bring Giratina into the real world.
Fuck yeah.
There we go. Yes, they're trying to like bring Giratina back from the top of the tower.
Yeah. And
so
some Pokemon lore here too. When in the final boss area or whatever, when Giratina is brought in, it's in its origin form, not its altered form, signifying that this world is enough the ghost world for it to be in its original form.
This rules. Yes. Fuck yeah.
So I'm trying to think of like, if we're still running with the idea of like maybe kids are being lost here, are the ghost Pokemon offering those kids to get Giratina? Is that like the fuel that they're collecting for this? Like
something like that. I think it's vague,
event?
But yeah.
Okay.
We see children walking into Gigantamax Gengar's mouth.
It's a tunnel.
Gigantamax Gengar is definitely one of the last levels. I definitely love this idea of like a one of those final zones that there's just going to be an ass ton of ghosts at, because it is like a Gigantamax Gengar that has like, has Hauntars and Ghastlies actually causing a big old ruckus in this one big hotel.
What if the the fight against Gigantamax Gengar, like, it starts out and you're outside of Gigantamax Gengar and you're trying to do anything, but it's just like, what do you do? This thing is massive. And then it eventually, like in the same way that, like, the kids went into its mouth or whatever, you do too, and go into, like, a weird ghost world. And it's like this extra psychological weird zone in the game.
Mm-hmm.
So what are some other, like, levels that we can really dive into to kind of assign some Pokemon? We mentioned, like, a haunted ghost area.
You have to have
or
a
haunted forest.
You have to have a haunted gym, like a gym that's falling apart.
Yeah.
Like it's like it's all like all the wood is like rotted and like you could fall through the floors
gym will
and shit.
definitely be dominated by the Marshadow, which is a fighting ghost type Pokemon.
This
I don't know what the level would be like to get in there. Maybe there's an Aegislash, which is a steel ghost type Pokemon. It's the cool sword.
Mm-hmm.
Oh fuck yeah!
Yeah, I like the idea.
Ooh, an old castle on the hill, and all the ghost Pokemon in there are like medieval weapons and like suits of armor and shit would be pretty bitchin' too.
like it would be kind of cool if just like as the game is progressing, like this portal above the tower starts to expand and more of the ghost world pops in, and like and then like more and more Pokemon that aren't from Lavender Town or Kanto start showing up. And I'm sort of imagining like Castlevania Symphony of the Night style, an upside down castle just sort of pokes from the portal in the sky.
Whoa,
and you've got to explore it upside down while dealing with all of these like medieval ghost Pokemon and Chandelure and stuff.
This game rules is the thing about it.
Rad. I'm just reading. I guess Giratina has their own, like, has an alternate form. Like, the origin form looks fucking whoa.
Yeah, that's what they were saying earlier.
Beautiful. I didn't know. I thought it was the model was the same. This is radical.
I think.
Okay, so first area is like mostly like normal. You're in the forest going to the town.
I think that it's like Sableye and maybe like a couple Ghastlies, right?
Yeah.
Like little dudes. Just a couple little dudes.
I think you get a hint of a Trevenant, but you don't actually fight it yet.
Yeah, it's our introductory set piece. It's when we're starting to get into the town. The town's going to be like pretty open, similar to like one of the earlier Fatal Frames or the Silent Hill games. And you're going to realize like, okay, I can get into these different zones.
Yeah, they're like different like levels, but like the town map you can wander around. But like once you're in an area, like a dungeon.
I think that maybe the first spot is going to be like a Poke Center or a Pokemart. I think Blake was right on the money on that, because that's going to be the first place that we check out in a Pokemon game anyway.
Yeah, now, like get a read on everything. Yeah.
Now this is going to be a good opening like set piece, the Poke Center, because the Poke Center is small. Like that's an enclosed space, and like you're just putting the player in this enclosed space with suddenly a bunch of ghosts. And you're like, okay, get used to it, fucker.
So what are we going to see in there, though? I'm imagining like a couple, maybe like...
I think like Mimikyu.
Maybe some Drifloon, maybe a Blastophon.
I have an idea.
Nope,
so
not Blastophon.
I feel like the moment they get into the Poke Center or the haunted Poke Center, that's going to be our inciting incident that things are not as they seem here. So what I'm thinking, like one thing that always scares me is like, there's a term for it. It's like where you see a building but you go inside it and it's much bigger than what you thought it was going to be.
Impossible geometry.
So like say you walk in there and the first Pokemon you're gonna meet is something that can fuck with your perception of reality. So maybe that kind of gives us some...
They're using Trick Room.
They're using Trick Room.
There you go. Hell yeah. So maybe, and that's where we kind of get the idea that, oh, there's no people here, and Pokemon are running amok in places, and then maybe you also get the vibe that things are not being well kept, and they haven't been for a long time. So maybe this is like something that's going on in the background.
Okay, so
what you got?
So you walk into the Poke Center because you have your partner Pokemon, which you haven't even fucking talked about yet. You walk into the
shit.
You walk in. Well, no, it's Rodom, right? Sorry, it's Rodom.
Yeah, it's Rodom.
Sorry. There's so much going on.
We haven't really fleshed them out besides they get new powers.
Yeah.
They're locked in your thing. They get new powers and they get magic door unlock.
Okay, but you're
trick roomy
right.
stuff.
You get into the Poke Center because you're like, oh yeah, Poke Centers, like in the anime at least, like they have places for humans to stay, like hotels sort of. So like that's where you're going. You're like, oh, I need to stay here for the night. Like the Poke Center is a good place to do that. And you walk in, and it looks like a normal Poke Center, and there's a Nurse Joy behind the counter. But as you like start to talk to her, you slowly realize that she is like, I don't know, like in the anime there was a Ghastly who pretended to be a human woman. So like
just it comes off very mannequin, very like fake and stiff.
Yeah, and for Gen 1's pretty limited on the amount of ghosts that they had, so I definitely think that starting off with like a Ghastly Haunter Gengar situation would be good. Maybe the Mega Gengar isn't used until much later in the game. Actually, I think that Gen 1 only did have that evolution chain as their ghosts.
Yeah, I think it was just it was just them. And yeah, so it starts off and it's like, just Ghastlies, just Haunters. In the opening you get like the hint of a Trevenant, and people who don't know Pokemon will be like, oh, okay, weird tree ghost. But people who do know Pokemon are like, wait a second, that's not supposed to be here.
That's not in Kanto.
And then I think we'll have to start introducing other Pokemon very quickly.
Yeah, I think the second zone that you would unlock would be the forest, and that's where we can have our Phantoms, our Trevenants, our Pumpkaboos, and our Gorgeists.
Okay, so where is Professor Oak?
He's back at home.
I feel like
have to walk back.
Well, I was thinking about something. It might be there's two ways I think we can do it. One, it could be that this takes place in an already existing region, and Professor Oak is like down the trail.
You mentioned Lavender Town. That's Kanto.
Yeah, so I'm just using Lavender Town as a backdrop. I think it could be any town that becomes spooky, but you could do a thing where this is all taking place on an island. That way, this world does have perimeter, like you can't escape it. So like the events of this game are going to determine the fate of this island or something like that.
There is something that that the video game Siren does, which is set in this like small Japanese town where once shit hits the fan, people like go to the edge of town and realize that what used to be there, like forests and roads and shit, is replaced with this gigantic red sea. And I think that we could do something similar.
Oh, yeah. How about this building off of that? So the moment you get something you want to bring back to Professor Oak, you go down the trail and it is blocked off. But because you cleared out the Poke Center, now you can like have like a FaceTime call or something with Professor Oak from the Poke Center.
Yes,
so the Poke Center
the
Poke Center can become your base of operations for the rest of the game.
Yes.
This is great. This is fantastic.
Oh yeah, and you could FaceTime him and he'll be like, "Hey, that's a really shitty picture."
Yeah,
but
he'll be like,
keep taking them. I'm proud of you.
Zone 3 would be our gym. You mentioned like having like night statues at a big manor. I think that we just consolidate those and just make the gym like kind of like one of the more threatening areas. I think that ends with a Marshadow. I think it's where we see some Aegislash and some maybe. How do y'all feel about getting Golett and Golurk in
honestly,
there? They're much
I feel like
bigger.
I feel like the
looking.
gym should be the thing you're working towards right before the tower. Like the gym is like like area 5, and because I don't know, like in Pokemon games, like you're always working your way to the gym.
That's a good point. So we'll go ahead and move Aegislash and Golurk and Marshadow towards the back end of the game.
Okay,
I want one more, and then we can go ahead and put a sticker on this one that says done and ready to go.
I mean, we do need 6 areas. We did say that. So there's the introduction area that's more of a tutorial. There's the Poke Center, which is the first real area, where I guess just like the major ghost there is just Gengar.
Yeah.
Then you go back to the forest to try and meet up with Professor Oak. That's the second area. Trevenant is the lead. Then I think probably Graveyard.
A graveyard would
graveyard
work.
would
We
be
can get
pretty
a
cool.
spiritomb in there. We can get maybe it's like a really cold graveyard, and that's where we can get some of those ice and water ones.
Yeah.
Frillis, Jellicent,
Ooh,
Frostglass.
it could be like a lake of some kind.
Yeah.
So like you have to journey back into the forest, and there is a lake of mist that you need to go in, and
Yeah,
maybe there's some
haunted
sort
lake.
of like a haunted lake where you have to like go out on a boat because there's like an island in the center of the lake that you need to go get a piece of information from or something. So that'd be I don't know, the idea of a spooky fog covered lakes is pretty rad.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
I agree with you.
So
I have one idea.
Of Spooky Lake would also give us a little bit of sand, so we could throw in a sandy ghast or a pola sand.
yeah. And then I do really like the spooky upside down castle.
Wouldn't that become the tower basically? Like once you ascend the top of the tower, it becomes
Maybe-
the upside down world.
Oh, okay. So here's what happens: is that at a certain point in the story, the tower rises up into the sky, more towards the portal, and the castle comes down. So the only way to get to the tower is to go through the castle.
Okay, yeah.
Which means that
I like that. I like that.
Which means that you have to do 2 levels in a row without going back to the Pokemon Center.
I think
Really stressful. I
yeah.
like that. So would you do a thing of like, say you died, would you just wake up in the Poke Center and you lost all the pictures that you took?
I think if you die,
just-
then that's just game over and you start from your last save.
Okay.
yeah, very
Okay.
archaic save system on this game.
Yeah.
I have one side thing I'd like to propose. I feel when I look at Fatal Frame, the thing that I felt that they utilized to make it really scary was all of the side characters getting killed off. I think maybe we can introduce that there are, say, a pair of ghost hunters in the town, and they're on their own adventure, and you kind of run into them occasionally, but then
Okay.
those people die and become a Pokemon, so that explains to us as the player that, oh, people actually become these ghost Pokemon.
Okay.
So, like, and they could become a boss, maybe? So it's like
Yeah,
these
sure.
gag characters become an actual boss or something you need to deal with at some point.
If they die in the lake, we could have a really fucked up Delmise that like is different in that it maybe is like 2 Delmise fused into one.
Or if there's like, a more of a, maybe in the graveyard or something, they could be Yamask's, and we could see their faces on the mask
Holy
that the Yamask
shit.
carries.
Holy
Yes.
See,
Are you-
I like that. It's
yes.
like because you get like some sort of notification or something. It's like, hey, those two chuckle fucks. They've been taken hostage by ghosts, and when you arrive at the graveyard, you find out it's already too late, and you might need to put them out of their misery, or maybe there's like some options for this game. Like maybe there's like different paths you can take, or is it?
I don't know.
I think it's very linear. I,
think
don't
it's
think there's
linear.
many choices.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that maybe there's choices, but they're like useless ones, like BioShock Infinite. Like you can give them a coin that's different.
Yeah.
that did affect things. It made certain parts of the game easier or harder depending on what you did. So it
Did it
didn't really
really?
affect the story, but it affected playability.
Wait, the coin you? Okay.
Yeah. At least you're talking about the one with the Lutesses, right?
No, I'm talking about. I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about. I thought there was a useless coin that you gave the girl in the dress.
You mean Elizabeth?
Yeah. I think we're just about done here. Then.
Yeah.
we gotta
Oh,
we gotta come up with a name.
Yeah, there needs to be a title for this one.
Pokemon Snap again.
Let's see. I mean, Pokemon is obviously the first word,
Yeah.
because that's just the naming convention.
What are some of the Fatal Frame game titles?
Yeah,
'Cause,
that's
like,
a good
we
point.
get
That's a
kinda-
good
yeah,
question.
Let's look into
Yeah.
this.
We can just
'Cause, like,
slam them
kinda
together, huh?
Well, not necessarily that, but we get like an idea. Okay, so Fatal Frame 2, The Crimson Butterfly, Fatal Frame 3, The Tormented, Fatal Frame, Mask of the Lunar Eclipse, Spirit Camera, The Cursed Memoir. So
Okay, so it could be something like
Could we just call it like Pokemon Lavender Tower?
Lavender Tower. That's not bad.
It's a starting point,
Yeah.
I think.
I was thinking like
We can lean into the upside down castle thing. So we can
Yeah,
be like Pokemon in the upside down world, or Pokemon in the upside down.
I like the idea of the castle being a like late game like reveal,
Oh, okay. So
blowing
not
your
talking
mind
about it.
sort of thing.
Okay.
What's the name of the Pokemon Tactics game? Pokemon Conquest.
Yeah. What if this is like Pokemon? What if this is just like Pokemon Ghost Dimension?
Ghost Dimension. Ghost Dimension's not horrible. I kind of my problem with Ghost Dimension is it feels a little bit
On the nose.
Yeah.
I feel like I think we've crafted something here that has a lot of layers to it, and I feel like we could have some more of like a poetic.
You know what? Yeah. So this is sort of like I was saying like way earlier now. This game is sort of like akin to like how Tokyo Mirage Sessions is a combination of Fire Emblem and Shin Megami Tensei, and it does not convey that at all in the title of the game. So
okay, yeah.
So what if we just call it something completely different that is like very hyper specific to this game? Like okay, so it'll be called the Lavender Tower Pokey #FF.
Yes. The Lavender Tower Poke FF.
Yeah.
I think that's a game, y'all.
That's a game.
I think that's a game.
A little bit longer than most of our sessions, but I think that's because we just we got so invested in Pokemon.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
I'm so glad. I'm so glad that this is what this was. Oh my goodness.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
So
No,
then
this is. What's up, AJ?
I think with this we can go on to patch notes, yeah?
Hell yeah.
Jupiter, you ready to go? Patch notes.
Patch
Question
notes.
mark. Let's go.
Sure. What?
I
So
tripped
patch
over my
notes
words, and when I did trip, I just continued tripping.
I got that, and that's all good.
Okay.
What is this, and what am I doing?
Patch notes is just our closing comments.
Okay.
For guest episodes is just that's where we tell everybody like where they can check out your content and stuff.
Oh yeah,
like
for
that.
sure.
This is going to be where you plug all your stuff.
Hell yeah. Well, so you can find all of my stuff all over the place. I do so much. So, primarily, if you want just like links to all of my stuff, the easiest place to find that is on my Twitter at Jupiter from Hell. And in my pinned tweet,
It's a good handle.
Thank you. In my pinned tweet, I have links to all my stuff, and then in my website, I have a little card that I have all my links in. And I do 3 podcasts. I do Artificial Ghost Radio with my friend Miles, where we dive in and try and find obscure music by giving each other challenges and themes to try and find weirdo, obscure songs. The second podcast that I have is called Deck of Friendship, which may be counter to everything else about my aesthetic and brand, is about anime, and I don't swear.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa, really?
Yeah, no.
There's no swearing in that show?
There's no swearing in that show. It's a PG show.
Oh, dip.
Yeah. It's a show where me, my friends Ray and Joy, at LRA13, who was on the show in a previous episode, and at Marble Cantus, she streams. She's a Twitch partner, does fantastic streams, fantastic work. review anime episode by episode, and specifically, we talk about anime that are based off of real life games, stuff like Yu-Gi-Oh, stuff like eventually stuff like Digimon and like Bakugan and all sorts of stuff. We in the future will only be covering children's anime, but right now, as we're transitioning into that, our current season is Log Horizon, which is a very interesting and very challenging anime. And it's a laugh riot. And then the third podcast that I have is Enchanting Aspects, which is me and my friend Amy diving into singular tiny little details in the art that we love and just highlighting them and bringing them to the forefront and talking about them, why they're important. And yeah, those are my 3 podcasts. Definitely check them out. I love making all of them. And the place where you can find me most often is on Twitch. The Twitch channel is twitch.tv/HellPrincessJupiter. I stream 4 times a week. I have a lot of fun series. I stream with a couple of games with my friends, Yakuza 0 and Paper Mario the Origami King, with Joe and Amy, respectively.
You've activated my sleeper cell code because I can talk for literal hours about Yakuza.
Yakuza's great. Yakuza 0 is fantastic.
Those all sound like really amazing projects and really amazing things to definitely check out. And Blake and I definitely advise checking out more of your stuff. We're
definitely gonna. Oh, I was sorry.
I'm sorry.
There's some times where I'm just like talk. I'm sorry. There's some times where I accidentally talk and then I realize because it's the delay. Mm-hmm. Just gonna say that we're gonna have all of your stuff linked in the comments below. I mean, in our in the podcast description. If any of you want to check this stuff out.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
With that. Oh, sorry. I do have one final thing to plug that I forgot to mention. So this episode is going to go up before the 10th, right?
Yes,
it's going up on
Tuesday.
Okay, perfect. The last thing that I want to plug is I am going to be doing a charity stream very soon.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I'm going to be doing a charity stream on Saturday the 10th, starting at 2 p.m. and going until I pass out. It is a practice charity stream for a bigger 24-hour charity stream that I want to do that will be going up probably in November. And the charity is going to be I'm going to be supporting the Portland PDX Bail Fund. That that helps people who have been affected by the police violence going on in Portland and all over the country. Although this is very specifically Portland because that's where I'm from.
Oh no shit! I'm from the same neck of the woods. I was in a little town outside of Portland.
Oh shit! Hell yeah! Helps people get out of jail who were wrongfully arrested, and also they are replacing damaged property that was damaged by the police and helping lawyer fees and all of that. Just, a really useful, good cause for people around here.
That's a really kick-ass cause. I definitely do recommend pushing that, and I'll definitely make sure that I share that around on my channels too.
Thank you.
Same. And if we want, let's share it on the Spiritual Suck Twitter, AJ.
Yep.
That way that people can find it easily.
Hell yeah. I'll have an official announcement before this episode goes live.
Okay, cool.
But yeah, it's just a practice charity stream just to see how long I can go. I didn't even mention what game I'm playing. I started up Final Fantasy VII Remake as a stream series, and it's not as great of a stream candidate as I would like, even though I really enjoy the game. So I decided that since I'm switching up my stream a lot, that I would just finish that game all in one sitting for a charity stream.
Oh my God.
Makes sense.
So that's what I'm doing. Saturday the 10th, starting at 2 p.m., going until I pass out. All donations go to the PDX Bail Fund.
that sounds amazing, and we'll definitely share that.
Thank you.
I think with that, we're going to go ahead and close the show out.
Yes.
As always, our intro and outro show is Cheap Shot by Anamanaguchi, an excellent song from an excellent band for an excellent game. Jupiter, thank you so much for coming in and doing an episode with us.
Yeah.
This has been an absolute blast.
Yeah, thank you for
Are
having
kidding me?
Thank you for having me. I had a wonderful time.
As always, I've been your host, AJ Hart.
And I have been your other host, Blake Rea.
And as sometimes I'm Jupiter.
This has been Spiritual Successor.
And these are cool games
That should not be made.